Then do you want BTS to not win a Grammy and just the Grammys remain as it is? Or do you want them to
I agree
win
to
this award?
Which
one would you rather
have?
have?
My point is neither. They should keep the change the reformation of the secret committee and stuff. Policy changes are good, but the new award categories I don't want to approve. I wish BTS would win a legit award that pre-existed in the 84 categories. Best duo, best group award, maybe even bigger.
Them being eligible for this category does not take them away from
But still, I have a bad feeling that in the next Grammys they might be excluded by all the other awards and then just shoved off to this Global Music Performance Award. We'll have to see.
Okay, here's my... Welcome to YouTube's favorite K-pop show, DK News, Daddy Kid.
David,
Lots of
Hot Ass Tea.
First off,
we have a final goodbye to izone.
And second, comedian Pang-nade is getting investigated by the police for her inappropriate actions on YouTube show.
Okay, and last but not least, we have a big shift in the music industry. The Grammys are changing their nomination process and adding more categories.
Okay, and on to the first news.
Farewell to izone. The group izone has finally ended their journey, and now fans are curious on what their next path will be in each of their careers. On April 29th, izone's contract expired, and izone was a group that was made from a Korea-Japan joint audition program called Produce 48 by Mnet. And after the show, the group izone has been actively performing throughout Korea and Japan for 2.5 years. I have to admit that I do not know all the members, but along with me, I feel like nobody can deny the fact that we all know their songs, such as
La Vie en Rose,
Violetta, Secret Story of the Swan, Fiesta, Panorama, and more.
Actually, I think the latter ones, not as much.
I know all of them. They all ring in my head. Fiesta.
Oh yeah, Fiesta. Yeah, that's true.
And they received several number ones on multiple TV shows and also the Best Rookie Award as well. They got the number one spot on the Japan, Oricon, and Billboard chart for their album as well. And despite their successful career, there was some controversies in the middle regarding the manipulation of the Produce series. And at that time, many fans and netizens urged the group to disband. I mean, some netizens. However, izone endured and went on with their comeback. And many thought that it would open gates to an elongated contract for the group, but due to the interest conflicts among each member's label, nothing really happened. So due to their contract, all 12 members will now go on with their own respective paths. Reportedly, each member will return to their own label, their original label. Some of them will get rest, some of them will straight on go with promotions. A member like An Yujin will still be appearing on the Inkigayo as an MC, and Kim Minju will be on Show Music Core as an MC too. Treyana will be appearing on an entertainment show. And for the Japanese members, Miyawaki Sakura, Yabuki Nako, and Honda Hitomi, they took the morning flight on the 29th to Japan straight away. For Sakura, there were rumors that she would go sign with a HYBE label, but nothing is confirmed at the moment. Also, initially, there were discussions about some of the izone members making a unit group. The news says that there wasn't any further progress. However, one insider stated that because the members are very close to each other, a collaboration project might happen anytime. So that's a silver lining, giving hope to their fans. Finally, on the 1st at midnight, the group uploaded their final social media post, final goodbye with their photos along with a message. Eyes on me, all eyes on us when we are one. Thank you for being the constant light and world in izone's life. That was from izone. Thank you. 여기까지 izone이었습니다.
That's so sad.
I know, right? It's really sad that this. I mean, they're technically a project group, and they only had like a two year and a half contract initially. So this was coming anyways. And I think a lot of fans would be thankful. Not thankful, but they went through a roller coaster because there were like talks about disbanding and stuff in the middle because of the manipulation stuff, and they went really close to disbanding, like some other groups disbanded. It was a whole roller coaster. I do definitely remember all of their songs. They were like bangers. I really need to find who the producer behind their songs are, because honestly, there are distinct styles of genres within K-pop and stuff. izone is a little bit more J-pop-ish, but at the same time, their songs are one of the best among G girl groups.
I like their earlier songs personally better, like La Vie en Rose and Violetta. Those songs were
all of their songs are good. Panorama is good too. Every song they released, they all were major hits in Korea.
Yes.
I could hear them everywhere. Each member has a lot of influence already. Whichever group they're in, it's going to be like one-on-one, doing their own individual activities.
I guess the shadows of the produced series is that most of the time, when they go back to their groups don't do so well.
Right.
구구단 disbanded.
Yeah.
I think Cheonga was like
The
among
soloists
IOI.
do good. Kang Daniel's doing good too.
So that's something to look out for. Let's see if that happens this time. Hopefully not.
For these project groups, I wish in the future there would be a way, like an initial contract to sort out the interests and stuff. There's a lot of conflicts here among companies. And
I mean, it's understandable.
Yeah, that's the reason why they can't go on as a group.
Right.
But we've seen that these groups can generate a lot of buzz and a lot of influence, a lot of money.
Right.
So I would think, honestly, for even their own companies to make a exclusive contract with Mnet to push the group even further if they're extremely successful. That would be better for the company themselves.
I don't think that will ever happen, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, there's like 12 labels.
If you guys become really if like they become really popular, the company will want to bring that guy back.
Yeah.
That's just natural though.
I know. But they should really consider in the future, like change in contract.
That's why X1 had like a 5-year deal, and then that didn't happen. Yeah.
So farewell, izone. You will be missed. I will miss your music. And on to the next one.
Pang-nade is gonna be investigated by the police for her inappropriate actions on her YouTube show, Hey Narae. On April 30th, police began investigations on comedian Pang-nade with allegations of violations of the Act on the Protection of Children and Youth Against Sex Offenses and indecent exposure. 공연 음란죄. Pang-nade got called out for her inappropriate actions on her YouTube show on March 23rd, where she performed suggestive actions with her hands and feet on a male doll and a table leg. You can check out all the details on how that went on our previous DK News, the link above here. After the show, the general public came out in outrage, calling sexual harassment on this, saying that she went too far with her jokes. Soon the YouTube show was cancelled altogether. However, people remained that Pang-nade be taken off all her shows, the rest of her shows on TV. That didn't happen yet. The cancel train then carried over to another level as an anonymous citizen filed a civil application for her to be investigated by the police for distribution of illegal information over an information and communications network. Basically, they're saying like, oh, she distributed like society harming shit on the internet. This led to the eventual police investigations starting on April 30, and the police announced that they have already finished questioning the civil applicant, the person who filed the report, and will proceed to investigating the case. So Pang-nade will probably be soon investigated as well. Now, to make things clear, I was very shocked by this news actually, because like we make those kind of jokes all the time.
I don't.
Okay, well I do. I don't get investigated by the police. So like I have to make things clear. I have done some research as well as consulted with my friend in the police force.
Out of fear?
No. To see what was going on, because like this is very odd to me.
I hope it's a joke that you make those jokes every day.
In a democracy, you should be able to make those jokes. And according to the police and also the research that I've done, the police is obliged to start an investigation once a civil application is filed at the 국민 신문고, which is a centralized petition hub for citizen complaints and reports. Thus, regardless of whether or not this case is outrageous, they have to go through investigation. You might think this is outrageous that the police are investigating on this while not like trying to investigate on real cases maybe, but like this is just like the law.
Yeah. I mean, it's the same with the police as well. Like, if you call the police, they are obligated to go and check at least once. It's a formality, but still they have to go.
On another note, my friend in the police said that the case will likely not stand, as there's a high probability that she will be released without charges. She's probably gonna be okay. Meanwhile, Pang-nade came out on I Live Alone on April 30 with a tearful apology, though the comment section and Naver were still not favorable for her. If a man did what she did, would we be letting him go just because he cries? We will have the same standards for men and women. That's equality. If she was a man, the program would have been cancelled and everyone would have been arrested. bring equality. Pang-nade did respond to the police investigation report stating that she is well aware and will cooperate with the investigation. So that's where we're at right now. Very crazy.
I do understand like why some people are pissed. Indecency spreading through the internet and the YouTube where like younger audiences can get influenced. And I understand the technicalities of that. But as you said, it's a formality for the 국민신문고 and the police to investigate this once there's a report. Just some personal stories. Actually, in this case, it might seem outrageous that the police are investigating these minor issues, but at the same time, if you think about the organization itself, it's very useful for people that usually don't get their voices heard. For example, when I was in the military, a lot of our rights get neglected and abused. Soldiers really don't have any option. But this 국민신문고, if you write a complaint there, they come to your base and they actually, flip things upside down.
They take care of shit for you.
Yeah, the heads get chopped off. They go on full investigation, whether you're getting abused or not. And so I do understand that the formalities should still stand. But for this particular case, I don't understand what the person reporting was getting to. Like he or she might have a very big personal grudge against Pang-nade to go to this extent.
I feel like this person, whoever it is, is he or she gonna file complaints about us too now?
We had a similar case with Iruda, the AI chatting bot, and that whole company got investigated because the chatting bot it's not even human, but
it was being sexually harassed, was saying a lot of hateful things.
Right. So the company got investigated, and the company actually had to shut down.
They didn't have to shut down, but they shut down on their own because everybody was up in arms.
Yeah. So I guess in this society, when something like this happens, there are consequences.
My answer to this, this person is obviously trolling whoever is reporting this. I highly doubt that this person is actually offended by this. In fact, I would say most of the general public are not really offended by this. But most of the people, what they are angry about is, I don't want to sound like a men go their own way guy, but a lot of the past cases in the past few years or so, there was extreme scrutinization of male celebrities and what they say for anything really. Like anything slightly sexual, there will be a lot of scrutinization. Like for example, on that AI thing where men were saying a lot of sexual stuff to the AI and people got pissed off and they demanded the AI to be shut down, which eventually it did. So what's happening right now is they're retaliating in anger because they feel like people have become too sensitive. So they're basically trying to give a taste of their own medicine. So it's an ongoing fight. Actually, we'll talk about this in the after show. Men are now demanding, they're petitioning for women to be mandatory enlistment for women. They actually surpassed 200,000 signatures.
I saw the petition. The logic was solid.
We'll talk about that petition. It's a very hot potato topic right now. And actually, a lot of women are genuinely worried. There's a possibility that this might go through right now. So now, female K-pop idols might have to face mandatory military service too in their careers.
There are a lot of points, but basically they're saying people are shouting gender equality. We're all competent in the workspace and stuff. Why not in the military? And women also get higher up official jobs in the military. They can apply for that. But military officers, that just proves that women are apt for the military service as well. Population is diminishing right now. We have a very bad situation in our forces for the military.
96% of the people are getting eligible for active duty, which is insane.
But let's go through them one by one in the after show.
Yes, patreon.com/DKDKTV. You guys get to chat with us live and talk about these issues.
Will Korea become Israel?
Not Israel as in women going to the military.
Oh, yeah. Okay, on to the next news. So the Grammys change award nomination process, and what will happen to BTS?
Oh boy.
That's everybody's big question. Everybody remembers The Weeknd calling out the Grammys for being corrupt. In his tweet, he said, "The Grammys remain corrupt. You owe me, my fans, and the industry transparency." On top of that, there were a lot of complaints from the K-pop sphere as well, as many anticipated BTS to receive a Grammy award. While BTS did succeed in getting a nomination, at the end the award wasn't given to them. Many ARMYs, K-pop fans, and media were disappointed and baffled by this result, adding fuel to the fire about the Grammys being corrupt, rigged, biased, and racist. allegedly. And after all of this controversy, the Grammys came out on May 1st, 2021, that they will change its policies and process for the award nomination process. Basically, the Grammys have announced that they will no longer use anonymous review committees to determine its nominees. So the Recording Academy will eliminate its secret committees for the Big Four category nominations, and the nominations will now be picked by all of its over 11,000 voting members and not just the select few industry experts that were running the committees. Also, they announced that they will change the number of categories in which Academy members can vote. Now that nominees for most Grammy categories will be chosen by the general electorate, the Recording Academy says that 90% of its voting members will go through a requalification process by the end of 2021 to ensure that the voting body is actively engaged in music creation.
I think they watched our video. Because I suggested that like previous qualifications was all you have to do is release 6 commercial songs, which is very easy right now.
So they're getting rid of that loophole.
And then I said like, oh, Army should just release 6 songs.
So the voters may now only vote in 10, it was previously 15, specific genre field categories, and those categories must be within no more than 3 fields. But most importantly, this is the part you're all waiting for K-pop and BTS fans, the Grammys have decided to add 2 new awards/categories. Number 1, the Best Global Music Performance, Global Music Field Award. And number 2, the Best Musica Urbana Album, which is known as the Latin music field. Let's talk about this in a while. But the reasoning behind all this change is, according to the Grammys, is to reflect its ongoing commitment to evolve with musical landscape and to ensure that the Grammy Awards rules and guidelines are transparent and equitable. Also, Harvey Mason Jr., chair and interim president CEO of the Recording Academy, said, "It's been a year of unprecedented transformational change for the Recording Academy, and I'm immensely proud to be able to continue our journey of growth with these latest updates to our awards process. This is a new academy, one that is driven to action and that has doubled down on the commitment to meeting the needs of the music community. While change and progress are key drivers of our actions, one thing will always remain. The Grammy Award is the only peer-driven and peer-voted recognition in music. We are honored to work alongside the music community year-round to further refine and protect the integrity of the awards process." Basically, they're saying we're a respected award that's chosen by experts. We're not a popularity award. That's what they're saying, okay? However, as this news hit Korea, a lot of Korean articles started headlining, of course, will this mean one step forward to a Grammy for BTS? Or will BTS be able to win the Grammys next year? I mean, I understand because the only person eligible for a Grammy in Korea is BTS. That's not even clickbait at that point. But anyways, obviously the reactions to this change weren't that good. Here are some comments from the Korean fan community, the Q.
Oh no.
먹고 떨어져라 하는 상 만든 거네. 진짜 대놓고 차별하는 게 쪽팔린 줄 알아라. 글로벌 뮤직 필드는 미국 이외의 가수, 니네가 아무리 열심히 해도 제너럴 필드인 본상, 시상식 내 최고의 상들은 못 받아, 이런 느낌임. 그 대신 새로 추가된 부문 상 받아 이거임. 방탄 이용해 먹고는 쉽고 본상 주기는 싫고. Of course, international fans reacted as well. Like this tweet saying, the Grammys giving out a global music award is basically them saying, we know you exist, you're good, but you're not American enough for us to respect you. So what are your thoughts on this new change in the Grammys, and how do you think it will affect BTS or K-pop?
Well, first of all, this I don't think really changes the chances of BTS getting a Grammy because, well, I guess it does help in a sense because like the secret committee, what they did was rule out the nominations. So they didn't pick the winners, but they did pick the nominations, or they did pick who was not fit for the nomination. So that does help, but like at the end of the day, the popular vote still wins the award, and that was the same before and the same now.
I kind of agree with all the armies and all the fans that are on the communities. All their comments are on point in my opinion. I feel like this specific award was made for BTS and for the future, like K-pop. They're just saying, we don't want to give any like real awards to you guys. We're just gonna make this other genre that you guys can get, and we'll just shove you a trophy since you guys are loud. We want to use you as TV ratings, hype, and audience.
Here's an unpopular opinion for maybe K-pop fans. I don't think K-pop fans really have the right to complain about that, because we have Mama, which claims to be an Asian Music Award. And if you look at that, all the actual real awards go to Korean artists. And then like some random ass, global music contribution award goes to some random ass Vietnamese guy. Like that's the exact thing
the
that
environment,
the
history, the meaning of those awards are drastically different. As Grammy, even if it's like an American-based award,
Grammys have always been American.
Yes, still the pop music and American music and American media and everything in general. Even if it's hard to admit, nobody can deny that it is the center of the music field and the industry as well. So there's a very different meaning in the award and the size and everything about the Grammy aspect. So I feel like if BTS and K-pop is actually infiltrating into the mainstream or gaining presence in the American market, then they do deserve to be acknowledged as an equal genre of music. Them just making a separate award for like best global music performance award and just shoving it to possibly BTS in the future and other K-pop fans in the future, it just feels off. I work my ass off, harder equivalent to all the other artists in the American music industry. I have even more fans, I have more listens, but at the end I don't get to compete with them because I'm not American enough. But I just get that strong feeling that they don't want to give the real awards to K-pop artists or Latin artists.
Here's the thing though, like personally, I can already see the comment section here, people being very pissed off. But then do you want BTS to not win a Grammy and just the Grammys remain as it is, or do you want them to
I agree
win
to
this award?
Which
one would you rather have?
My point is neither. They should keep the reformation of the secret committee and stuff. Policy changes are good, but the new award categories I don't want to approve. I wish BTS would win a legit award that pre-existed in the 84 categories. Best duo, best group award, maybe even bigger.
Them being eligible for this category does not take them away from
but still I have a bad feeling that in the next Grammys they might be excluded by all the other awards and then just shoved off to this Global Music Performance Award. We'll have to see.
Okay, maybe like you said, they just want to shove all these artists in one sector. But for me, like I personally think what they did was they're slowly acknowledging that like there's music in other parts of the world. Right?
Yeah.
Like I don't know what would make people happy. Like this is the thing.
What would make people happy is not
BTS win a Grammy?
not making a new award.
But here's the thing though,
acknowledging actual other music genres and other groups in their existing awards.
Here's the thing though. Here's the thing. You can't force the Grammys. The Grammys is a peer voted award, right? They can't help if their voters don't give a shit about like music outside of America.
That's why I agree why they're requalificating their new committee members and stuff. That was needed.
That's not really gonna help change their.
Of course it's gonna help because in Korean we have this phrase called 고인물, and that means rotten water in the well. And we need to get rid of that rotten water and we need to fill it up with new members.
They're mistaking this requalification process as something way more than just a technical level of are they making music, yes or no. Because I feel like when I read that, I felt like, okay, there's a lot of people that are not making music but are still voting. They're not saying, old people shouldn't get votes. They're just simply saying, there are a lot of your voters that are not making music, be it old or young, and they're gonna take them away because
that's the same thing.
It's not the same thing because like I could be making songs and I could still get a vote. Grammy.
I think we're saying exactly the same thing, but
I'm saying this is not a qualitative. Like there's not the qualitative.
That's the exact point because even if they're making music or not, if this is a qualitative like process or not, refreshing. Just pressing that F5 will get the effect that I am aiming for and the effect that you're aiming for as well.
My thought is that's not going to really change anything, okay?
It is going to change it. If new people flow into a very closed society, then of course there's change.
I don't think so. The Grammys, at the end of the day, you know, it's still an American music award show. I think them putting in a global music category, honestly, call me maybe American-centric or whatever the freaking word is. But I think that's their way of acknowledging foreign artists. They can't, like, you know, put on a fucking K-pop show, okay, on American TV. Because very few people care about K-pop outside of BTS in America. What do you want the Grammys to do? Like, that's like, you know, bringing some random ass like V-pop groups into Mama and then having them perform for an hour. Like, no one would give a shit.
We're not talking about some random ass V-pop groups. We're talking about groups that actually have presence and actually have
BTS.
Statistics
That's BTS.
in the American market by
BTS.
American people.
Exactly.
Yeah, BTS and
Maybe
any other
Blackpink.
group that has potential with that.
I think this global award is their way of respecting it because
No.
they know very well that they can't force the voters to change, like, you know, their perception of K-pop suddenly, force them into like voting for big major categories. So that's why they made this specific award for, like, this is the thing. You're not being forced into that global category. The applicants who want to be nominated, they can choose which categories to be submitting themselves to. So if they don't want that freaking global thing, they don't have to submit it.
And of course, if it's there, they are going to take it.
Yeah, they are.
And that's exactly what they're
leading
leading to.
Though.
Exactly what they're leading to. We have to be cautious about these kind of things because once the precedent or once the policy or once the categorization is set like this, people will be like, oh, that's the award for K-pop groups, so we don't have to give them any nominations in the actual Grammy other awards. If you're like fighting on the same ring and getting that award equivalently with other artists, then you feel like, I'm on the same level, I deserve this. But if there's like this brand new award and you're competing with like
but you don't have to compete there. Like, no one forced you to compete there. Who is forcing BTS to be in this?
It's not forcing,
category?
It's leading to. Of course they're go for it because it's a Grammy at the end.
That category. That's the thing. Like, BTS are adults. They're fucking like
Oh my
ambassadors of UNICEF and shit.
Don't you understand?
Why would they, like, if they feel like this award is fucking racist or some shit, then they will be taking a stand for it, okay? So are you saying BTS is like a puppet?
No.
I mean, like, why?
Okay, so if you were BTS, wouldn't you apply for every single chance that you can get to have a Grammy? You would submit your application to multiple categories, and one of them would be the Global Music Performance Award that you have a high chance on winning. And then when you see the results, ironically, if you only get that award, would you feel good?
Here's the thing. If I was BTS and if I felt like that's not gonna make me feel good, then I would not apply for it.
Oh my god, that's so
BTS
convenient to
doesn't
say.
need a fucking Grammy.
That's so convenient
They're
to
already
say.
successful. So why the fuck would they be like, oh my god, I need a Grammy. I'm so insecure, and then I don't like this award. But
that is so convenient to say.
They can make their own choices. They have the balls. They have the brains. They think this new awards category is racist, then they won't apply for it.
That is just so naive and convenient.
I respect them as artists, and I believe that they will take a stand if they don't believe that's not right. Who is forcing them to apply to the global category? Hey.
Let me try to make a good analogy. This is like right off the bat, so it might not be accurate, but let's say you're applying for a university in Korea. Yeah. You could apply for like maybe 5 or 6.
I don't think university is a good...
Yeah, that's what I said. I put this analogy right off the bat.
It's a completely different thing because BTS can live as millionaires. This is not like a life or death situation for them. They don't need a Grammy.
I know, but
especially in that fucking global category.
This expands into general life situations as well. So we're not talking about BTS. We're talking about a college student trying to get into college. Let's say you have like 5 application slots.
Yeah.
You can apply for every slot you have.
Yeah.
And you apply for Sky, that's 3. You apply for like, I don't know, like a very prestigious school outside of Sky. And then you have a safe bet. You have your last slot. Just maybe think, okay, maybe what if I don't make it into Sky? What if the other competitors or the system or the policy is rigged? And then you hear that there's this new university that is very preferential to you. Still, it's a pretty good new founded university because maybe it's backed by Samsung or whatever. Yeah. But anyways, you have a 90% chance of getting into that university if you apply. Yeah. Will you not apply because it's
apply.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then once you apply, suddenly you get knocked off from all four, and then you get into this one. Won't you feel bad about not getting into Sky universities?
No, that's what happened in my life, real life. I didn't give a shit. BTS, they don't have to apply to that. I don't understand why people think BTS can't think for themselves. They can think for themselves.
It's not about BTS thinking for themselves. Big Hit is obviously going to go for a Grammy.
If they feel like this award is fucking racist,
my God,
they will not apply for it. They don't need a Grammy. What do they have to lose? What do they have to lose?
Even if they think they don't need a Grammy, of course, everyone in the world knows that they are going to go for a Grammy.
I don't understand why people are uptight about this.
No, nobody's uptight about it. I'm just giving caution. You know, like, we should be careful about these new awards popping
BTS
up and people being shoved into another separate ring.
They're being included. Would you rather have international groups never have a chance?
No, I would like international groups, if they have the presence, if they have the statistics that can compete with American artists. I wish they can fight and compete in the same ring.
And BTS is competing right now.
Yeah.
They best pop
I know,
deal.
but making this new award is leading to a scenario that they might be shoved into a ring. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but there's a high possibility, and people are dreading that.
Okay, I'll keep my fingers crossed they don't apply for that dumbass category.
While I am against this Global Music Performance Award or whatever, I do like the direction that the overall industry is going in the American awards and stuff, like the Oscars. And they're all doing some sort of change, reflecting these voices, and that's a start. I do think that this was a big step at the end. I'm not saying let's be satisfied with it, but let's always be cautious and on the look.
I'm confused now. You think this is a good step or a bad step?
Everything's not white or black, okay?
There's Asian too.
No, just because it's the right direction, it doesn't mean it's the right path. We need to be in check. That's what I'm saying. Just because you're going this direction, just because it's right, there might be like 4 different roads you can go. Once you're going this road, you can always look sideways and you can always look for a better road. It's the right direction. Since there are a lot of complaints, it would be better if they could be in check, and people need to be in check as well. That's all I'm saying.
Now people are gonna call me racist, but there you go.
That's not what I'm saying.
Patreon.com/DKDKTV.
Let's talk about this more on the after show.
God.
Yeah. Bye.